Hello and welcome to chapter 125 of our streaming adventure. See, this is why I have to say chapters and I can't say days because this is not a new day. I already streamed at 3 a.m. this morning. And no, I didn't sleep. Well, that's not true. So I started off 2-0, then I lost the next 3, and then I did take like a 2-hour power nap. Okay, so I lied. I did sleep. Sue me. Okay. So for this event, I wanted to play something a little bit more aggressive because of that lack of sleep. And also, as much as I like Breach, I do feel that I don't play it to its fullest. Um, Not necessarily, how quickly do you need to turn the corner and turn on the combo jets? Usually I'm good at that, but from what I saw when I made my mistake in game 3 and I kind of let it get to me and I couldn't really finish it off. Um, I dwelled on it a little bit too much and I kind of let that snowball. So I have a thing where at like in-person events, I will like go and ride on escalators. And I don't know, I've had this affectation for quite a while, and I think I really started it uh, back when I was playing Versus System, and I feel like it's probably before then because I seem like it was already a thing. But I was at the one of the first pro tours for Versus System, and it was a split format where you played both constructed and limited, and it just so happened like the final draft and the final 3 rounds um, turned out to be a draft. And I don't know if the person next to me had not drafted before, but the way the game plays is you have to have the characters to be able to deal damage to your opponents. You can't really rely on spells as much. And the person next to me like changed 2 or 3 times. They ended up 0-3 in the pod. I ended up 1-2, but I had to win that last round to get 13th. But the fact that I won and 2'd to fall into 13th place, I was doing pretty well before that, and there are no intentional draws. So, which is that's a whole different topic. But to not be able to necessarily draw into the top 8 and kind of blowing a chance. We were in the Javits Center in New York City, and I just kind of like they had this nice complex of like you could go up this escalator, you could turn, you could go up that escalator, you could turn, come back down this escalator, turn, go down that escalator. And it's something about being in motion but not moving. As weird as that is, that somehow that helps calm me. And so I do think that, sometimes I literally just need to walk it off. And because it was so early in the morning, I didn't want to wake up the dogs. I didn't want to wake up my wife and stuff like that. So, yeah. The other thing is, we so we do have an elliptical machine right here, which you cannot see. But it's possible I might jump on the elliptical if we have another bad beat. And I don't know, there's not much value gained for you to watch that, and I don't necessarily want to show that. But, hey, yep. So we're currently at 376 people. 385 makes it go to the 10th round. So we are only 9 people away from playing a 10th round. So that is a little daunting. But like I said, it's also why I am playing an aggressive deck today. I want to make sure that like I put a decent amount of pressure on, and I feel like this has the chance to do exactly that. Um, Dreadhorde Arcanist and Sprite Dragon can both put on a quick aggressive. Blood Chief's Thirst deals with a lot of the problem creatures in the format, and then when Dreadhorde attacks and flashes it back, you get to upscale it, and that's definitely a thing. So, yeah, hopefully this goes well for us in about 4 minutes here. But no, I enjoyed the first part of this morning. I think having played it at 3 a.m. was a little rough for that to be the first one. But I did get a little bit of a nap, so I am ready. And am I ready for 10 rounds? I don't know, because we're at 379. Now, that's the thing is, the math this morning at 256, I thought, oh, we're one short, because, you know, a Swiss triangle breaks at powers of 2. So 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. Except Magic Online doesn't understand math, which isn't a surprise, but they break the 213th person adds the next round instead of 256. And then instead of, 513, 385 breaks to the next round. So yeah, as of right now, we are at 380, whereas number 385 will put us into the 10th round. We got just under 3 minutes to see if that happens or not. But 383. Hello and good luck. All right, we can start getting our preparation together. Today is the 24th, I believe. We are on vintage event number 2 of the weekend, of the Eternal Weekend. And we're on Grixis Arcanist. Thanks to Not Me, shout out. So, I guess, if there's a problem, 386, 10 rounds. If something goes wrong, we could always be like, well, who came up with that deck? You can be like, not me. Because that is correct. It is not me who came up with the idea for the deck. Minute 30, 388. I don't think they're leaving. People are getting the maintenance screen for Magic Online. That is brutal. I just posted in the Discord saying welcome to 10 rounds. Hello and good luck. I mean, we've dropped back to 387. Yep. It's hovering 387, 388, 387. 390. Six, five, four, three. Good luck, everybody. 391. 10 rounds. All right. And away we go. TK Dog. We've lost the die roll. Not surprising. are a cat. Alright, they are playing first. If we had a better feeling for what kind of deck they are, that would tell me more whether this hand is even remotely keepable. But I don't think it's remotely keepable. And they're going to keep 7 cards. So we keep this. The question is, what do we keep? I think I want to throw away Probe because Misstep at least gives me interaction. And that's not necessarily correct, but I think that's what I'm going with. Like, kind of happy. Basic, Swamp, Mana Vault. Okay. Basic, Swamp, Mana Vault. I do admit I'm a bit confused. Could play Dak Faden. I could get a Braid. I kind of want to get Arcanist. Is that wrong to get Arcanist? Could also get Daze. No. Alright. We get Arcanist because that lets us set up with the Ponder better. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Lotus Petal. They can currently hardcast Bolus's Citadel. Or they could PO for 2. Or cast Time Twister. That's a good one. They could be. Are they just DPS? So all this does is give them 2 mana and a card. Potentially a new land drop. Okay. Make sure I'm mindful to yield to stuff. So they got a new land drop. Brainstorm can put away this Mystic Sanctuary for later. Hardcast Citadel. Okay. Now, I'm willing to main phase the Brainstorm because I really want to put away Mystic Sanctuary and try to find some good stuff. So, I think we found what qualifies as good stuff. Okay, this will get us a volcanic. I'm still kind of looking for that. Okay. Having force and daze makes me feel good about this coming shattering spree. I was gonna say that could be what do you call it, but not likely. So Yawgmoth's will. No, I mean I can't afford for it to be Yawgmoth's will. And I'm currently holding the land. Maybe I shouldn't because that'll let me set up. Maybe I should have played the land. I don't know. I want them to necessarily think I have something, but so far they've just played right into it all, so. This could be Ancestral. Ancestral's probably their best one. Doomsday? Necro? See how much they set up here? So you skip your draw step, therefore Mana Vault does not ping you. That's clever. Unless we remove the Necro. We could theoretically draw a Bolt for the Arcanist. And then they're going to exile 5 cards here. So I feel like Brainstorm is going to get me the most mileage, as opposed to, yeah, I don't want to Shattering Spree that, honestly, so. I think we just Brainstorm off the Underground. Something like Sprite Dragon would be great, because Sprite Dragon will enable a hasted threat, and then the flashback on Dreadhorde gets the lethal point of damage. That's a good one. But it means they no longer have mana. These are all amazing cards to have drawn. Cabal Ritual, Dark Petition, Defense Grid, Duress, Repeal. Hmm. See that hand again. All right, we did our bluff. I think they still have enough with everything else, though. Dark Spell. Yeah, with all they have right now, they just need to get. Why would you play that? I guess they drew a card by doing it that way, but that felt wrong. So I should have killed the Mana Vault because of no, maybe not, because then they wouldn't need to play it. Yeah. Yeah, I think I screwed that up. Well, not really. Okay, so I kill the thing in response. They don't get the tendril. Then they just don't need to clear the way for Dark Position. So, yeah. So what sploot? They had like power and stuff like that, right? So what do I not want? So Pyroblast and stuff like that just feels like it's maybe on the lower end. I think we want Mind Break Traps. They are Storm. I think I want Fluster Storm. Question is, do I want more Sprees? So here's the thing. When they went for the draw spell, I could have fizzled it, but they still had 2 mana. They still had Cabal Ritual. So I was still dead even if I fizzled the draw spell, but then the draw spell gave them duress, and then so they went for it, and I'm like, did they mess that up? But no. I think we were dead in either direction. So. Alright, Blood Cheese Thirst. Those don't seem like they're going to do any good here. So Shattering Spree, and the fact that for the most part, like they do have blue cards, but they're not going to have like Force of Will blue cards. Do I want more things like Spree? Do I want... Do I want like surgical extraction? I mean, surgical extraction can hit. Like, we do want to mess with their graveyard somehow. I'm not sure ley lines are the. We do I want to go all the way to ley line? Potentially. These lightning bolts. I mean, they might fall prey to lightning bolt, but for the most part, I don't think that's the right approach. And I don't think single serving a braid is necessarily right. I just surgical might be better than leyline. Let's keep ourselves a lightning bolt for the chance of Arcanist lightning bolt. Arcanist. Yes, I would like to play first. They're mulliganing to 6. Do have my cheering section with me. I got serious at least. So they went to 6. Mox Jet Demonic Tutor. I mean, so next turn, I think a lot of it depends on how they play, but I could play Sprite Dragon, or do I need to get into something faster? Because right now I could also just play Arcanist. I feel like I need to dig for blue disruption. That's a really good one. That can draw me the blue disruption. That can tutor for anybody. Okay. So now this decision is, do I just play Dreadhorde? This mountain is brutal. This mountain makes Sanctuary that much worse, although Sanctuary is going to be bad kind of regardless. If okay. Wow, that was a good draw. I was going to say we demonic tutor to get Shattering Spree. Play Shattering Spree, take out both cards right now. Alternatively, I double Shattering Spree them and then I preordain, setting myself up. Let's attack. Preordain. Always yield. Let's cast this Preordain. Daze and Narset. Yes, please. So let's put that on top. Drawing Daze. This will be the first time in recorded history I am happy to have a Daze. You've heard it here first. If I let this go, it takes Treasure Cruise. If I don't let it go, it takes Daze. So we know we're drawing Narset. We could... I can't get both off Narset, can I? So if I play tapped Mystic Sanctuary... No, Narset can draw me... Narset does more in general. It turns off a lot of the stuff they are doing, which is worthwhile. Dak Faden's and a Knight's Whisper. Right now, I think I want the Knight's Whisper, although Dak Faden can go to work on their hand. I think I want the rock cards. Alright. So I can play the dragon. I can Knight's Whisper to draw 2. We could also just Narset first. We could also just die. Could also just die. Play Wish Claw. They only need... I mean, they need a couple more spells. Like, they go and get... you're prevented from drawing the card, but they got to still play it, but that got them to 10 mana. Yeah, we have been gotten. Yeah, we just couldn't get anything going in this second game. That I feel like maybe it was a bad keep with the Mystic Sanctuary. So we'd have drawn that. We Night's Whisper into those. Yeah, like a lot of this was just Dread Horde attacking for one sprint. Yeah, and it wasn't enough in the first game for sure. We just did not deal enough in the first game. Well, that was terrible. Cool. That is very true, but I would say in general that deck is not necessarily good. Now, there is a lot less. Veil of Summer is a lot more present in, say, Legacy, where it can cause problems for anything like that. But it's one of those, all they need to do is build up to like a critical mass, and I was not presenting. I was not presenting enough of a threat, for sure. So we'll hope to get them next time around. There's still 78 matches out there because, like I said, this is 391 players, which means we have 10 rounds, which means at 0-1 it's a very uphill battle. But because it's a funky number, let's look at the Swiss tree. So, in the Swiss triangle, so 391 people, and we have to force it to give us a 10-round count because that's not normally enough. So what that means is at 10 rounds, at 391 people, we will have 1 10-0, 4 9-1s, and that means 3 X and 2s right now will make it. Now there's 17 total X and 2s, so there's going to be some tiebreaker shenanigans. Yeah, I mean, if we would have had maybe a few more cantrips to flow, that might have been better. Maybe I should have kept the Demonic Tutor that I bottomed. I mean, I think that and the basic Mountain having problems with the Mystic Sanctuary there also is a little problematic. All right, so what this means is prizes for top 16 all still fall within that 8-2. And then prizes for top 32 would be the first 10 at 7-3. And then prizes for top 64 fall all within 73. And then top 128 gets into 6-4. So if you are X and 3, you have a shot at top 64, and then prizes here. Top 64 is currently 150 play points and 5 treasure chests. I think if we can reasonably keep things going, I plan to play all 10 of these. We lost to DPS. In the first game, I just did not apply enough pressure. I never drew into any cantrips. And then in the second game, my first cantrip did not find another cantrip. So